Welcome all. Some of you might not know me. This is Kariyer. I'm a Kariyer and alumni coordinator. Today is first day of our Kariyer talks. We are together with artist Batu Gündal. Most of you might saw him around the campus while he's coloring our beautiful campus with his beautiful, gorgeous artwork. Some of you had a chance to paint with him. Some of you took photo of his beautiful artwork and shared on social media, including me. And today he's not working, he's here with us to talk about his work, how his career journey started, how it continued, how he became today's Batu Gündal. Thank you for being with us and accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, how your career started, your personal business development started. Is there anyone in your close circle or family encourage you, inspire you? How did you feel you're gonna be artist? How you're gonna be today's Batu Gündal?
Well, I guess it kind of starts like every artist, at a young age. When I was around, I think 6 or 7 years old, I was very influenced by animation and characters and such. So I'd find myself usually drawing, trying to copy, the characters I see on TV.
Anyone discovered you, like your teachers?
Well, I think my mother and father were quite aware that I was interested in the arts and the creative things. So they've always kind of pushed me forward, supported me and pushed me forward to develop my skills. So at the beginning it was, like I said, just copying things I would see on the TV or around me. And in fact, I remember I was probably about 6 or 7 years old, and I'd get my little drawings, and we'd live in the suburbs, so it was a very quiet kind of town, but and it was like a one-way street. But I'd get my little chair and table and plonk them outside in front of the house and put up my little artwork, just 7 or 8 years old. And I would try to, show my work and try to sell it at that age, which was quite unusual. But I guess being a child, you're kind of more free and you don't really care. As you kind of grow up, you become more anxious of your work.
Confident.
Of course, but as a child, I guess you're more confident, so I could just go outside freely and try to show my artwork and try to share it. So that's kind of when I realized I was interested, and my family as well. So we moved back to Cyprus. I was in England at the time, and we moved back to Cyprus at the age of 11.
How did you feel this cultural difference?
That's it's a huge difference. I mean, there's a language barrier at the beginning, and the cultural difference is just enormous. So it takes a while to adapt. But I kind of found my way around it with my art, and I was enrolled to a private art class here in Kariyer, actually, one of the very old and renowned teachers and artists, Salih Horal. He actually lives quite close by here as well. So I kind of started going there, and that carried on all the way through until high school. And I kind of got all the basic training, learning about perspective and color theory. So I kind of had made a base for myself through that. And like I said, my family was always very supportive, and kind of they could see. I mean, my mother and father, they were both very creative people themselves. They never actually pursued it, pursued the arts, but I guess they kind of felt that they could see that kind of artistic side through their son. So they were very supportive.
So, what is your graduate? Which university you studied?
From here I went to Turkey, Ankara, Hacettepe University. I took the talent exam, and actually my first choice was you'd make choices, and my first choice was graphic design, and my second choice was painting. And I didn't get into my first choice. I got into painting, which was a little bit of a disappointment at the beginning, but as soon as the semester started, I got involved in the ateliers and saw the teachers and the atmosphere. I grew to like it, and I grew to like it so much that I actually never took because my initial plan was to take the graphic design exam the next year and kind of move on to that side. But I never actually even took the exam because I was quite happy and fond of where I was. Plus, the environment was very it was very mixed up. So you'd have the graphic design students, the architect students, and everyone was kind of working together. So I didn't really feel the need to actually move to graphic design. I stayed there, but I kind of self-developed, and I started using graphic design softwares and teaching myself about graphic design. Hence, I also had lots of friends in the department, so we'd kind of bounce ideas off of each other and learn from each other as well. So yeah, that was a great experience. I mean, university is, coming from Cyprus and going to a place like Turkey, a crowded country with lots of people, and it's very intimidating. And as a child, you come out of here thinking that, you're doing great work, your drawings and paintings are great, and then you suddenly come to a harsh reality where there's people and students who are far more, higher up than you, are creating, amazing work, and that it kind of scares you and brings you down a little bit, but you can actually kind of channel that energy to develop yourself further and proceed quicker. And so that's kind of what I did. And then I carried on, and I graduated from university with a painting degree.
Mm-hmm. So how did you feel when you graduated? You told us that in childhood you tried to sell your items. Did you do during the study? How did
no.
you feel? You graduated, and what's going to happen now?
I think that's kind of the thing. I mean, like I said, as a child, you don't really care so much, and you don't have that social anxiety or that, so you're more free. But yeah, I'd never sold any work during my university years. Probably much later, and then that's kind of it. It's a process. It takes time. You need to be confident in your art and in your work. So until you're confident, yes, exactly.
You feel less confident, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're currently freelancing, and
yes.
Yeah. What other fields you tried?
Well, like I said, I was always interested in graphic design. So, and it was kind of like a hedge against, being a painter or an artist, because there's always that perception that, artists and painters will, not make enough money for a living, and, all those kind of thoughts and ideas that are there. So I always kind of thought that graphic design would be, the place where I would make money or make my living. And yeah, I'd started working as a part-time in kind of local little graphic design companies during the summer times, or when I had free time, trying to develop those skills as well. And from there, so I always had the graphic design kind of in my back pocket, as well as my painting and drawing. And then the illustration work started to kind of develop as well, and kind of pursued those. So as an artist, I guess it's important to kind of I won't say multitasking, but to have your fingers dabbled in all of the areas a little bit, to have some knowledge, and then you can eventually bring those all together to kind of perfect your own art and your creative endeavors.
So what is negative and positive aspect of freelancing? Because you need to be multitasking.
Well, I mean, there's
out of it, I guess.
There's a kind of misconception that freelancing, it sounds really cool, I guess, and it's I mean, even the name suggests that it's more free, in which a sense it is, but to kind of establish that freedom, it takes time. You need to make a name for yourself, create, you'll have to become your own brand. You'll have to establish some certain rules and establish some certain rules. So it's a difficult beginning, but after you establish yourself, then you'll have the possibilities of choosing your clients, or taking on work that's more creative, opposed to if you'd be working for a company, then usually you'd have to create works according to the company's framework or their ideas. So it can be limiting as well, but on the flip side, working in a company is usually a more community-based, more collective atmosphere. So that also has the benefits. Whereas freelancing, you are usually on your own, which can be difficult at times. So it's something to definitely consider. But as time goes on, you can. It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business that you have to create for yourself, and that's kind of starting from scratch. So, like I said, it does take a longer time to kind of establish yourself in the general environment. But after you go through that process, it's a much more rewarding and satisfying aspects of doing work. I enjoy freelancing, as well as I do both at the moment. I freelance murals and graphic design work here and in the UK, but I'm also working at AutoCAD, so I kind of have a stable, it's kind of a bit of a mix of both worlds. So I have a bit of both worlds, which is quite good.
It's kind of answer, but I was going to ask, which works excite you most and enjoy doing it?
Okay. Sorry. Which works? Well, personal works are always the most fulfilling for the artist, I think. So creating my own bodies of work, my own paintings for myself, solo exhibitions is always is a great thrill, and it's a process that helps you develop and learn more things. So the processes that teach you things and put you through periods of your life that you're not ready to encounter are always very beneficial. But I love doing murals. I've always loved working on huge scale. So even my paintings were always, I've had to kind of bring the sizes down a little bit, because it's very difficult selling 150 by 1 paintings. People usually don't have the walls for that. So but I've always had the urge to kind of do large paintings, and what's better than that than huge walls outside in the public space. So it's I would say murals and painting for myself are the ones that are most fulfilling for me.
What are you doing to stay up to date? Do you use NFT digital property, and what do you think about it?
The NFT thing is relatively new. Kind of came up last year when Beeple sold his paintings, his NFT collection of paintings, and I kind of just got into the NFTs just before that craze. I was reading about it and seeing it, and I was quite interested. The technology behind it is very exciting. To be able to put up your digital artwork and to be able to sell it, and to be able to earn money after you've sold it as well. So the idea of NFTs was quite interesting to me. So I had a little dabble in it. I didn't really create any work from scratch. So I kind of used my old paintings and I created collages. I'll be showing you them soon. But yeah, I kind of created collages with my old paintings, thinking that most of them are sold now and I don't have them. So I thought it'd be a nice kind of reminiscent or a bit of a nostalgic touch to my old my old self and my old paintings and kind of blending it into the new technology that is the NFTs.
You have to follow.
Yeah. So yeah, I made 3. It's always good to make a series. So I made 3 as a series, and they're up there. I haven't sold them yet, but I mean, that's another thing about the NFT thing. At the beginning, it kind of seems like you'll just put them up on the blockchain. They'll be there, and they'll just get sold. But in reality, it's actually no more different than creating paintings and putting them up in a gallery. You'll have to connect with artists and collectors, and as they're saying with NFTs, you'll have to be online, connecting with people through social media, Twitter, trying to find collectors, communicating and interacting with people. So it's actually basically the same thing again. The only thing is that it's a different platform, and the benefits for the artist are that after you do,
as an artist, you should be there as well.
As their meaning, sorry.
Yeah, NFT.
I mean, of course, you have to be there to kind of back up your work and to explain it to people. It's totally the same thing as any traditional artwork. So although it did seem like you just put it up there and then it will kind of sell by itself, or someone will see it and be interested. Of course, that's not the case. You have to follow it up and explain yourself to the people, join the community, interact with them, and then hopefully you'll find people who are interested in your artwork or your NFTs, and then you can hopefully start selling artworks. But I know a lot of great students and friends who are in the NFT space, and they're doing some great works and they're selling their work. So that's it's very promising. It's still very early stages at the moment. It's going to take some more time to develop, and there's a lot that's going to happen with NFTs, but we'll see.
So how much you use social media for your business, and which platform mostly use it?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, although I don't really actively use Twitter that much.
It helps. I mean,
it does, but I'm kind of more on Instagram at the moment, just posting mainly the kind of processes.
Most popular for younger ages.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm interested in, as well as the people that I follow is the people that I'm interested in their artwork, and I want to see their process. So they're the people I follow, and that's kind of the same kind of things I put out there as well, is kind of giving little glimpses of the process, how I go about doing things, and so it kind of has that educational side to it, as well as showcasing and putting out your artwork out there. It's I should be using it more efficiently, but yeah.
So last question I will ask you, and please make your questions ready at the end. You can direct your question to Batu. And students might be worried about their future plans, and they might think after graduate, what I am going to do. And we can tell them lots of things, do this, do that. But sometimes it helps to say not to do things. Because we learn from our mistakes, and we learn our experiences. So what would you recommend them?
Not to do.
Not to do. And to do as well.
To do as well, not to do. I think not to do, I mean, one of the most important things is to actually kind of value your time.
Yeah, and it's high competition now. It's many graduates, many young population, and lots of universities, lots of graduates. So it's
of course,
like they need to stand out in this race.
Yeah, I mean, yes, finding your own language and your own style is something that is very important for each creative person. And that does take time. It just doesn't happen overnight, unfortunately. So there's no need to kind of rush it. It takes a lot of it takes time. But yeah, like I said, I mean, the most important thing is to value your time and to use it efficiently, and to not disregard it. One of the things that I see very often, especially students or new graduates is they'll be, you know, making paintings or doing murals or doing graphic design, and they kind of have this sense that they don't need to. I mean, just getting the job is enough for them, and that experience is what they're looking for. But I mean, the experience will come anyway. But still, you need to fund yourself. You need to be.
You need to know your competitors.
Yeah, of course, you need to know your competitors, but you need to value yourself. So it's important to not be doing work for free, even when you're first starting off. And for free meaning, it doesn't actually have to mean for money, but there's a bunch of times that you take on a job just because of the people that you'll get to work with.
Create your brand. You need to.
Exactly.
You shouldn't sell for free.
No, of course not. I mean, starting off, yes, you might have a lower rate or whatever, but it's always good to establish some ground rules, some basic format for, you know, how you price your artwork, how you price mural, how you price your graphic design according to whatever. So it's very important to kind of get those sorted out before you start looking for jobs or trying to freelance. And so yeah, valuing your time is very important, and
staying up to
date. And I was saying that the important thing is, like, I've took on jobs where, like I said, I wasn't paid for it, but they would pay for all the equipment, for staying and food and whatnot. And the benefit was you could these were for like mural festivals, they would call us to go, and I'd meet some fantastic artists, and just getting that opportunity to watch how they go about doing their artwork and their process is something you can't buy with money. You won't find it anywhere else. So kind of making use of those circumstances is always great and beneficial. To learn from different artists and to learn their process is always a great thing that you can't buy with money. And then what else did you ask? Sorry.
Yeah, what you recommend to students and what they should do.
Yeah, so
to graduate maybe.
So yeah, definitely don't devalue yourself. Know your worth, and yeah, like I said, finding your style and your path may take a little while sometimes, but yeah, if you pursue it and you love what you do and you keep yourself up to date, and the education, it's a constant thing. It doesn't just finish after university, and you should it should accelerate even more. Hence is kind of what happened to me as well after university. To be honest, I wasn't one of the best students at school, but I had a thirst for learning different things. So it's great. I think it's a good idea to try out different mediums, different subjects, and see what you can take from that and try and integrate it into your own artwork or into your own style. So it's always a great thing to kind of play around with different concepts, ideas, and see how you can use them in your own work. Is that it? No, I just got a very short little kind of video just to show just to show some of the works that I've done, just for people who don't know, and just to give them a rough idea, so I can play that for you if you're interested to see what I'm up to. I have my old works here and new works as well, but yeah, let's have a look what we have.
You can see it.
Yeah, this is one of the first murals I've done in Cyprus, and so is this one. Mainly these ones are the murals. Yeah, this one's done in Lefkoşa. So yeah, the mural thing is something that I really truly do love. This one is in Nicosia. This was for a private company. It was their cafeteria, and they own certain different companies, so they wanted a blend of everything. This one was in Paphos. and then you get to do fun stuff now and then like this, you know, fun little projects come up sometimes, or you know, work on the ceiling. Yeah, this was another huge project, and I was doing this one by myself, and it took for ages. But yeah, it was a fun one as well.
Big.
Yeah, lots of sun cream, and a hat is usually quite good as well when you're outside in the sun. But yeah. Yeah, that's the one one's finished. Yeah, I mean, usually work is for companies and corporations and stuff, but now and then you do get projects where someone wants something for their home. So this was like a home project. Little animation, just playing around with animation. Illustration works. Yeah, most of my work is figurative. I've always been kind of a figure-based person. And then, yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways you can use your art now. It's just not selling paintings. You have to kind of come up with other different ideas. These are the NFTs, the 3 that I made, the collages of my previous original paintings. And that's it, really. That's it, guys.
Children are very quiet. Even I don't hear any sound from them. Any question?
I have a question. Could you tell me or show us that what was the longest artwork you've done?
Which one took the longest period? Longest period. I'm usually I get bored quickly, so I usually work very fast, especially on my personal work, my personal paintings. But of course, murals usually you have to slow down a little bit, and it takes a bit more time. So, I mean, the longest mural the longest work was probably one of the murals I'd done. In fact, it was, I think, it was there, and it took roughly about 2 weeks. This one took a bit of time as well. This one, I mean, this was created in my atelier, and then we kind of installed it onto the ceiling. So let's have a look. Sorry, guys. It was one of these ones, but I didn't see it. It was the sports bar one. Here we go. This one. It was about. I mean, in size, it wasn't that big, but there was lots of intricate details. So it kind of it took a little over 2 weeks, I think.
What about in your video? It showed like a big wall of a human face, like a figure face. How long did that one take? It showed right in the beginning of the window.
Not this one, no. Sorry. I think you were asking about this one.
No, it's in the very beginning.
The very beginning.
Yeah, just as soon as it opens.
Oopsie. This one.
This workout, I want to know, like, how long did this one actually take?
This one took, I think, 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Only 4 days you were able to.
Yeah, 4 days. I mean, it's weird to say. I mean, because in some projects you have to. I mean, you have time, so you can start during the day and carry on through the night. So, I mean, it's not always, 12 to 16-hour works. But on this one, I did have quite a lot of time, so I could finish it in 4-day period. But in total, I would say probably about 20, 25 hours worth of work. Yeah, of course.
Where else, for example, could we see your artwork besides in Cyprus and in Paphos or the south side? Is there anywhere else, for example, Turkey or the UK?
Mural-wise, no. Only in Cyprus at the moment. I haven't traveled a lot lately, but yeah, I mean, I have my artworks and paintings in Turkey and in a couple of galleries there, and I mean, yeah, I haven't really done many murals or work outside of Cyprus because I haven't been traveling much for the past couple of years now, so yeah, it's mainly focused here. Plus being a family man a little bit kind of grounds you a little bit, so yeah, you're very welcome. Anyone else?
Any other questions?
No. I think we're good.
If there is no question, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Daria. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
Do you remember how you discovered the world around you? Can you hear the beat of life? Can you hear it by seeing it and feeling with all your senses? Hey, can you still hear it? There's something in you, driving you, calling you. Calling you in closer and closer. It's happening right now. Time to free your curiosity that's always in you. Now it's time to act. This is an act of discovery. It requires looking to the world in new ways. Much to answer for, but we're not offering you the answers. We are here to encourage your questions, but more important than the question is how you answer it. Try the ordinary, then try the unusual. To live is learn, and to learn is to live. live, learn. It's an endless process. This is your path. This is your journey. You decide how it's going to be. Just enjoy every moment of it. We believe in design, keeping it simple but also significant. We believe in art for looking at the world with a unique perspective. We believe in creativity for communicating better with the world. Creativity takes courage. The future belongs to the curious. Come and experience it with us in Aracad and discover your creative potential.